Blondie and I are out for our morning walk, and it is a pretty great day, and she sees two dogs. It's so tempting for her to want to go back to the streets. It is not that Blondie wants to return for long to the streets. She is just a busybody and a snoop who wants to know what is going on. There is not much in the yard that gets past her, and Blondie has seen some changes on the deck this week. At the beginning of the week, Lee finished embedding all the replacement balsa in thickened epoxy. Once the epoxy cured, Lee began replacing the fiberglass skins. We had a total of 9 skins to replace, and by the time Lee got to the last skin, he was a pro. The largest skin on the port side was probably the most difficult due to its large size and being able to access it only from one side. All the surfaces were wetted out and plenty of thickened epoxy added for good skin adhesion. As you saw last week with the smaller skin, Lee screwed the skin down and weighted it. I am pleased to report all the skins are now reattached. After the epoxy on the skins cured and the wind was strong enough to blow some dust away, I began using a disc sander to bevel the 2 sides of the seam. I have 4 more to do, and I might be doing that on Sunday when it is supposed to be hot and windy. When creating the bevel, I found it best to use 2 hands on the sander to keep it as straight and as smooth a bevel as possible. I decided to sacrifice my fabric rotary cutter, knowing the fiberglass would quickly dull the blade. It made cutting the fiberglass into strips a breeze, and when I go back to the United States, a replacement blade is on my shopping list. For tying the excised skin back into the deck surface, we used chopped strand mat, 1708 biaxial, and a light cloth for the top layer. The strips had been cut in graduated widths, and we began with the 1/2 inch width of CSM and subsequent wider widths with the cloth just about even with the deck surface. On the wetted surface, the material was laid down, and then using a chip brush, epoxy was stippled over the surface. Passes with the fin roller pushed out air and epoxy pockets and smoothed the surface. Now, just 5 more sections to go. On Monday afternoon, we went to San Carlos to buy acetone. I know the label says thinner, but it was actually an empty bottle filled from a drum of acetone in the back room. We stopped at a hardware store, and some places still practice strict COVID protocol with limited access. Then lunch at a well-known restaurant, La Palapa Griega, and I am sad to report that it burned to the ground just a couple of days ago. We are pretty pleased with how everything is coming along, but unfortunately today I have to take a break from the boat. I have a sensitivity to epoxy, and no matter how careful I was and all the protective gear I wore, I have a miserable spreading rash akin to poison oak. It is a good day to edit this video. You may have noticed that last week's video was not published until Thursday instead of my usual Sunday, and the reason for that was my Telcel app was not working, and it did not work for several days. Normally I purchase a 2-hour block of high-speed internet. It's great for uploading, and I can even watch some videos, not have it count against my monthly allotment. Finally, I went down to Centro de Atención a Clientes Telcel and got things rolling again. So that's just the way things are here in Mexico. Hasta la próxima vez, or until next time.